Hey, this is Brent Jensen, and you're listening to No Sleep Till Sudbury, the show where we talk about the music that makes your skin vibrate. This show is brought to you by Pariah Pickups, quality handcrafted guitar pickups from the Motor City. Check them out at pariahpickups.com. And folks, if you're interested in supporting the No Sleep Till Sudbury podcast, it's super easy. Just go to patreon.com/Brent Jensen Music. Details are all there. All right, this week my guest is someone that I worked with at the Awesome Music Project, a really cool organization that promotes direct connections between music and improved mental health. And his name is Chris Stamper. Stamper's a former marketing executive, but he's also a massive music fan. And I invited him to join me this week to talk about the role that music can play in staying positive and feeling better during tough times. An important and timely consideration these days. Here he is. Mr. Stamper, how are you, sir? It's been a long time.
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Brent. It's amazing.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this chat. You and I have had some good ones in the past, and I haven't talked to you for a while, so I thought this would be particularly timely, given what we're going to talk about today, being, in COVID, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, getting closer, but still.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's been a long time, so I wanted to have you on to talk about what we're about to talk about here.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And thanks for having me on. I feel like I'm in honored company. I listened to so many past shows, and, when you're in the same company as Honeymoon Suite and Rick Emmett and Christopher Ward, and, it's nice to be in such esteemed company.
Well, everybody's got something to say, as a music fan. Music has always played a massive role in your life. I know that. And you and I are big proponents of the fact that music has an ability to elicit an emotional response from people. And I think that really, in essence, that's what brought you and I both to the Awesome Music Project, where we work together. I've always believed that big music fans have almost an alternate language that we use when we meet each other. It's like we're from the same tribe. It allows you to connect more quickly and more significantly. Like you automatically cut through all of that introductory circular chat, and just like get right to it.
Right. It's just such a shared passion. You can go deep. Like I know you and I, one of the first things we connected on was the Waltons.
Yeah.
And having a conversation about Lick My Tractor, and just, that throwback, that instantaneous connection where people go, oh, you love that? Yeah, I love that too. And it just builds from there.
Exactly. So now, in addition to the fact that you and I are buddies and we've had some great musical conversations like that, I wanted to have you on because of something that you recently did with the Awesome Music Project. The pandemic has been really difficult for a lot of people. Mental health and depression have been critical issues since all this began back, March 2020. And you recently posted an article with AMP focused on the importance of having a positive mental attitude. How that came to be with you when you were younger, you developed one early on in life, and how it's contributed to your career and your life successes. I thought it was really cool. And in this article, you correlate that PMA with music, more specifically with happy songs. So songs that immediately lift your spirits, they can be used to stay positive during trying times. And you shared your own happy songs. You've got 5 of them here. And when I read this, I just thought it would be really timely to have you on to talk about this stuff and share this playlist because, hopefully listeners would be inspired to focus on their own happy music and create maybe a playlist of their own.
Yeah. So thank you for that. And I think for me, if I think about it, the positive mental attitude part of my life did come into an early formation. I had an opportunity to attend a leadership seminar that was always about trying to focus on what a positive mental attitude can do, and whether that's health, wellness, school, job. Life is trying. And so how do you put a positive spin on that? Now, what I'm also conscious of is listening to a song and having a positive attitude can't fix the ills that everybody faces, and there are very challenging circumstances and challenging times. But what I found for me personally is it's made a difference in how I approach things and trying to look on the positive side and stay positive through that. And it's a skill I've kind of taken with me, and I try to impart on the people that I work with or the friends that I have. And I get a lot of good feedback about, hey, wow, you've got a positive energy and a positive vibe. And it's not easy. Every day's got its challenges, but I think overall, that's the lean I tried to rely on, and that's the approach I tried to take.
Yeah, no, and I tip my hat to you. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and so when we got together with the Awesome Music Project, you and I both gravitated to it because it was an opportunity to kind of partner our love of music with a shared love of trying to help people and find ways to help people. And I think what AMP is doing is monumental in driving to a vision of where music therapy could be recognized, the power of music to heal, and the things that, a lot of us feel when we turn on a song and it just brightens our day. Intuitively, you know that there's science behind that. And that's what I think the Awesome Music Project is trying to do. I think what's equally important is that a happy song for me may not be a happy song for you. And so, what are your happy songs, and helping people understand their unique happy songs and the songs that make a difference for them? And then, building from that and relying on those to help stimulate that positive energy that can sometimes carry you through some difficult times. And the pandemic is the best example. Story after story after story of cooped up, locked up, no social interaction, difficult work conditions, not working. There's a lot of stressors in people's lives right now. And I thought that, as we're coming out of where we've been in the pandemic, this is a bit of a ray of sunshine on the other side, to help us drive through to the finish line and hopefully see this thing behind us.
Totally. I totally agree with you. Well said. So now I have got your list of your happy songs here. So let's go through these.
All right.
So you start off with the Rolling Stones, Start Me Up.
I do. So I have to admit, I am a diehard lifelong Stones fan.
Mm-hmm.
Tattoo You was kind of that, first formative album. I was 11 years old when it came out in 81. And I had it on cassette in a Walkman, and I swear I still have the cassette. Actually, it squeaks. It was overplayed so much, but that entire album, really grounded me, and it's still on my top 10 list of albums to this day. And for true Stones fans, they would think that's sacrilegious because it's not Let It Bleed, Exile, or any of the other albums from the 70s. But
Mm-hmm.
and the song is just, it always makes me tap my toe. It just, as soon as that opening guitar riff and then that pounding drum beat, you're right deep into a song. And of course it has hand claps, and we all know the difference that hand claps can make.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would have been one of my all-time favorite songs, probably my favorite Stone song, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Really?
I know, which is a very, very hot take on that front. So I
Well,
know it's a,
but you know what? I mean, the Stones have such a massive catalog that's just
right,
rich
right.
with great material. So, you know,
Yeah, hey, Beast of Burden and Brown Sugar and Moonlight Mile are all right up
mm,
there, and Sweet Virginia, like I could go on forever about the Stones. It was actually the funny thing about that 81 tour was I thought it would be a good idea for me and my 14-year-old brother to go to Detroit to see the Stones in concert. And my mom didn't think sending an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old to Detroit in the 80s was such a good
no
idea. So
kidding.
I was not allowed to go. So I didn't see them until Steel Wheels, when they came back and toured
This is
then.
like 89 or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow. It's probably a good
yeah.
thing he didn't go.
I think so. I think in hindsight it was a good thing. Although I didn't put Kiss on the list. That was my first concert, and I was 9. So but I had a chaperone at the time. So there you go.
Wow. What year would that have been?
77, Kiss and
Oh,
Cheap Trick,
oh, you told me that.
live at the Pontiac Silverdome.
That's right. Oh,
I know,
wow.
an
Really?
insane double bill.
Oh, no kidding. How's Detroit Rock
Yeah,
City?
exactly,
That must have just
exactly.
blown the roof off
Oh,
the place.
the people were going crazy. It was
Oh,
incredible.
wow. Getting back to the Rolling Stones here, Tattoo You is very unique in the sense that I actually really, really like that album, despite the fact that it's like much later in their catalog. And the Stones, like I said, the Stones have so many great records, but they've got, so many periods, right? They had the psychedelic
Yeah.
period, they had
Yep.
that great run. And for me to like Tattoo You as much as I do, being like so far into their career to me is very
Yeah.
unique, but I love that record. It's a great summertime listen, I find.
It is. And we were out at a club one night, and just a small local bar, and there's a band, a local band playing, and all of a sudden they dive into Slave as their warm-up
Oh,
song.
I love that
And
song.
I just about lost my mind. I had to go up to them after, and I said, "You recognize you're playing Slave, right?" And they said, "Yeah, best warm-up song ever for a band because it's got all of the different beats going through it.
Yeah.
But, I think you and I like it and gravitate to because it's a collection of material from previous sessions, like Some Girls, Black and Blue, things that they dug out of the vaults,
Mm-hmm.
dusted off and compiled. And I actually like, for us older generation, side A, which is the rockers, and
Mm-hmm.
side B, which is the mellow stuff.
Yep.
I like the duality of the album quite a bit.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just reminded me of another album that's like that, which is Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Trampled Underfoot's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah. A lot of those tunes are, holdovers.
Well, and a very interesting connection that you are probably aware of. The album cover of Physical Graffiti
Mm-hmm.
is the same building that Mick Jagger stands on the doorsteps in New York City
Yeah.
at the beginning of the Waiting on a Friend video.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Isn't that funny?
I know. I went to New York. I put my picture. I stood on that block, leaned against the building, and had my wife take my picture so I could say that I was there.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, but St. Mark's Bar and Grill is no longer, so we can't go down and hang out with Keith and Ronnie at the end of the street.
Boo.
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure out something else to do.
Exactly.
All right, the Go-Go's is next. Our Lips Are Sealed. Is there a happier band, I ask you, than the Go-Go's?
I don't think so. And how exciting is it they're finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after all these years?
Yeah.
So overdue. You've got an all-female band that writes, produces, records and plays every instrument on every song.
Yes.
And they can't get the credit that they deserve. So I'm a big Go-Go's fan, and you had an amazing session with the Go-Go's, what, about a month ago, I guess, 2 months ago, maybe?
Yeah, Kathy Valentine, fantastic guest.
Amazing.
Great woman.
So amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. This is a good tune, man. They have a lot of great songs.
Yeah, they really do. And, I actually have a couple on the playlist by the Go-Go's. I've got Head Over Heels is another one that's on the Happy Songs playlist, which is another great song. And I know people go to We Got the Beat, but I just kind of I like the lyrics of Our Lips Are Sealed, and I like what they're trying to say, and it is a positive song. It's got a lot of good energy behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great melodies.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Head Over Heels is my favorite Go-Go's tune, I think.
Yeah, it's a great song. Well, it's on the playlist, so you'll be tapping along as well.
Yeah. And speaking of hand claps, that bizarrely placed hand clap on the fifth beat, right? Yeah.
And you can never, no matter how many times you're in the car or cutting the lawn or fishing or whatever you're doing, and you try to time that hand clap perfectly, you can never get it just right.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I was trying it on the weekend, and every time you have a beat off. It's very frustrating.
It is really funny to do, like just to try to catch it. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm looking forward to seeing them and at the induction ceremony and seeing what they play, which I think will be interesting to see out of that broad catalog what they pick.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yep.
Bill Withers is next with Lovely Day.
I love Bill Withers. I love everything about Bill Withers. I love, his voice, the soul, just the artistry, the passion, and everything that, he brings to music has been so exceptional. And what a better way to look at something than saying lovely day. It's a lovely day, right? It's almost, it's like it's a choice, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to believe. This is how I'm going to approach it. This is what it is. And off we go. It's a lovely day.
Exactly.
And from the beginning, right? When I wake up in the morning, love sunshine in my eyes, you just say, it just paints such a great picture of what he sings about and what he sings for. But, he's got, Ain't No Sunshine, it's different, totally different approach. Lean on Me, of course. But, Just the Two of Us, that's another great Bill Withers song, but for me, Lovely Day is probably the best. Well, and the interesting thing, of course, Bill Withers, and Lean on Me, and Just the Two of Us, and right. But I actually came into him heavy because of a cover that Mick Jagger did with Lenny Kravitz on one of Mick's solo albums of Use Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that record called? It's got a blue cover and it's him sitting on a bed.
Wandering Spirit.
That's it. That's a great, great record. Came out in the 90s.
Yeah, it's really good. And even Got Us in the Doorway is a good album, his next one, or his kind of last solo one.
Yep.
But that's how I kind of came to kind of dig deep into the back catalog of Bill Withers.
Wow.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about, the generational music of covers is the stuff that you pick up on and that you didn't know, and you go, God, that's a really great song. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Hey, they've got another 50,000 great songs that I didn't even know about.
Oh, that's the best, is when you start digging into somebody's catalog like that
Oh,
and
exactly.
finding the gold that wasn't a hit, you know?
Yeah, my son's a massive Beatles fan, and he plays songs for me that I didn't even know existed by the Beatles. They're so deep into the catalog, but that's the breadth of some of those bands, right?
Hmm. Definitely. And I always encourage people to do that. Like, dig into the records. Don't just go through the greatest hits records. Like, go into the studio albums and just find track 7, because,
Exactly.
yeah,
That's where the gems really are, and you see
exactly.
the influences. And then, it's like Graham Parsons. You go, okay, well, I didn't know about Graham Parsons, but you listen to the Stones, you find out about Graham Parsons, and you dig deep into Graham Parsons, catalog. It's
Yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
serendipitous nature of music. It's like thumbing through vinyl at a record store. You kind of find a hidden gem every once in a while.
It's true. And that's a nice feeling, man.
Very nice.
All right. Speaking of the Beatles, 8 days a week.
Yep. I love the Beatles, but I love the Stones more, I guess is what a Stones versus Beatles person would say.
Hmm.
But there's no denying the impact and energy of the Beatles. And this is I think their hand clappiest hand clap song that they have. But it also speaks to the power of putting it out there, right? I would love you every day, 8 days a week. Talk about a positive attitude. I'm so in love I can do more than 7. I'll do 8.
Hmm.
But to me, it just sends a lot of positive mojo and energy when you listen to that song, and it is probably one of the biggest toe tappers on the list.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Katrina and the Waves next. Walking on Sunshine is probably the biggest toe tapper.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of the things. It's funny. What got me started on the whole concept of happy songs, ironically, was I was listening to Something So Strong by Crowded House.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we were in the car, and my wife and I were listening. And I said, that's a really happy song. And then I started thinking about, well, what makes a happy song? What are other happy songs? And there were quite a few. Like for me, "Rome" by the B-52s is a happy song.
Yep.
"Wake Me Up Before You Go," and you'll see on the playlist it's pretty eclectic. It goes from the Beach Boys to the Beatles to Bill Withers to Prince to Madonna. So it's kind of the Archies. It's a wide ranging list of music.
Hmm.
But when you think about the ultimate happy song, "Walking on Sunshine" has to be the one.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
I think it's even happier than Bobby McFerrin, "Don't Worry, Be Happy," because it's just got the energy. And for me, it's all about the energy. That's what helps drive a positive mental attitude forward and helps you stay positive in the things you're trying to do, is getting that sense of energy and that sense of drive. And that song really does it.
You know what's absolutely ridiculous about what you just said? I had that same conversation with myself when I was looking at your song list. And I said, Walking on Sunshine is literally probably the happiest song ever. And then I said, and I thought to myself, like, so what could beat it? And like, technically, by definition, you think about Bobby McFerrin, right? Don't Worry, Be
Right.
Happy. But then I thought the tempo is not there. It's not
It's
really,
not.
do you know what I mean? So I thought that exact same thing. That's so funny that
Yeah.
you just said that.
I actually didn't put it on the list because to me, although it talks a lot about being happy, and it's a happy song,
Hmm.
but for me, and maybe I like the rockers, I like the energy that you get
Yeah.
from when you're doing a tedious chore and you put on some good music and it pumps you up, and everything seems to be a little easier, a little less monotonous, and a little more fun. And that's what I think "Walking on Sunshine" does. Whenever you hear it, it just immediately sits you up and says, "Oh, you know what? Let's get going. This is good."
Yeah, I completely agree. My song like that is by Madness, Our House.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's just
Yep,
impossible to be in a bad mood when you put that song on,
exactly.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's another one of your happy songs?
That's probably the biggest one. A lot of 80s songs,
Yeah.
like some Level 42, maybe Something About You, Perfect Way, Scritti Politti. right? Like I'm getting really
Yeah.
obscure now, but
Yep.
like
No. Hey, I know Scritti Politti. You and I could go on 80s CanCon for a long time too, as well.
the 80s songs, and I was thinking about this the other day while I was driving, the 80s songs were just built that way. There's a lot of prosperity. People were
Exactly. Good
just,
decade. People were energized, right?
yeah, there was just this huge focus on happiness
Yeah.
and energy. And, so much great music came from that in that sense.
Yeah, I very much agree with you.
I was also thinking about hand claps. You got me thinking about that. What are some hand clap songs like My Best Friend's Girl by
Yeah.
The Cars?
By the Cars. Yep.
And then Take the Money and Run by
Yep.
Steve
Another good
Miller
one.
Band, where he does that
Yep.
5 clap.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hurt So Good is another one.
Yep. Another great one.
Bang a Gong, T-Rex.
Yep.
There's
Even the
loads,
Power
right?
Station version.
Yes. But you're right. Like the hand claps contribute to the feel good aspect of the song for sure.
Yeah, and for me, it engages you. It makes you want to clap along, and that's the fun part of it.
Totally. Especially Take the Money and Run, because he claps 5 times in a row. Right?
Exactly.
And you can't not do it when you hear it.
No. Well, hey, it's no different than the Rembrandts and the theme from Friends, I'll Be There For You. It's very hard not to do that hand clap part.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Well, sir, that is your list. And I feel like we could go on for another 5 hours about this.
I think we could, but hopefully it inspires people to think of their happy song. And we're going to post the articles available on the Awesome Music Project website. So I'd love for people to go and drop in their happy song and the song that makes them tap their toes, gets their feet moving, and puts a little energy into their day.
Perfect. Yes. And that was why, I wanted to have you on to see if we could kind of lift spirits and bolster moods, because we're close and we're getting closer, but it's been a long time. And
it's been a long haul for everybody.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is just one step along the way.
Yeah. Your appearance was very timely, sir.
Brent, I can't say thank you enough. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure for sure.
Like I said, I feel honored to be included.
Yeah. Hey, hang on. Stay on. I'm just going to wrap the show up.
Yep.
So this has been No Sleep Till Sudbury with Brent Jensen and my very special guest, Mr. Chris Stamper. Until next time, folks, take good care.
Brent Jensen is the best-selling author of No Sleep Till Sudbury, Leftover People, and All My Favorite People Are Broken. All titles available in stores and on Amazon worldwide.